Hello. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Fluffy. Oh, this is going to be good. Good morning, Kamari. Babette, it is going to be good today. Can you believe it? Someone has been arrested. OMG. And guess who hasn't? Donald Trump. They're making an example out of him. I woke up to it too. I was like, OMG. Well, I can't wait to get on and go live and us to discuss it. I'm gonna bring up some articles on it, some videos. Hello, Lisa. Babette, good to see you. OMG. They did the unthinkable. They have arrested a prince. First time in history. This has never happened before. Oopsie daisy. OMG. Give it 3 more minutes and we're going to get into it. We're going to dig into it. It's hot. It's hot. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen the news. I just saw Andrew was arrested and then I started looking up to make sure I wasn't reading it incorrectly. Make sure I was on point. And it said it. Andrew has been arrested. The king's brother, King Charles' brother, has been arrested. Are they going to send him to the tower? I don't know. Happy birthday, Andrew. Your gift is jail. Says Kamari. Aaron, I don't know. The king's brother has been arrested, guys. Can you believe that? I'm in shock. I'm in total shockadoo. Hello, Nick. Hot news today. Yes. Somebody has been arrested. The king's brother has been arrested. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's right, Nick. I got me some hot news. The darkness comes to light. Today's his birthday? I have no idea. I want to get into it so bad. Let me pull it up. Let's go to BBC since that's his hometown. Then we'll go to CNN and see what they're talking about. Somebody has been arrested. Whoa, chickadee, chickadee, doo-dop, chickadee, chickadee, doo-dop. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. They arrested him. This is the second person that's been arrested in the Epstein files. Can you guys believe it? Are you guys not feeling a certain kind of way because they're targeting him? Not that he shouldn't be arrested. What I'm saying is that shouldn't there be some more arrests? Shouldn't Donald Trump have to come to answer some questions for Congress about his situation with Epstein? What are they hiding from us? Oh, yes, Mountain Goat. Nick. Kamari said next it'll be Harry and Meghan. Woo! Watch yourself. Somebody has been arrested. Residue. Get the damn. Today is Andrew's birthday. He got arrested on his birthday. How rude. How rude. They could have waited till the next day. They don't give a damn. They must got some stuff on him. Not that we haven't seen it, but OMG. It's his birthday. Rock a doodle doodle doo. They finally then arrested someone over this Epstein files, and it has been Andrew, the former Prince of York. Poetic justice, says Nick Golden. Nick. Hello, Ellie. Good morning. Oh my God, let's get into it, guys.
Start with breaking news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. The BBC understands that he has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. That's from our correspondent who has found that information out. Just for context, we heard this morning from the Prime Minister in an interview that nobody is above the law when he was asked about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. But he declined to say whether the former prince should volunteer himself to the UK police. We now understand, though, that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the former Prince Andrew, has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. So just to give you some more context on this, this is clearly linked to the files that have been coming out about Jeffrey Epstein. And we understand that Thames Valley Police has been assessing allegations that a woman was sent to the UK by Jeffrey Epstein for a sexual encounter with Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. And the encounter allegedly occurred at the former prince's residence, Royal Lodge, in 2010. The woman, who's not British, was in her 20s at the time. And the woman's lawyer said that after spending the night with Mountbatten Windsor at the Royal Lodge in 2010, the woman alleges she was given tea and a tour of Buckingham Palace.
Hello, Sharon.
Now, we've also, clearly, those are some of the links that Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has always denied any wrongdoing on the matters of the links with Jeffrey Epstein to do with sexual matters. But he is also being investigated for his role as a trade envoy. MPs might be looking into his conduct while he was working as a trade envoy for the UK. The Today programme heard from Liam Byrne, who said his committee, the business...
Britain's former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now known as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, he was taken into custody in Norfolk just a short while ago. He is accused of allegedly sharing confidential information with the late sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Mountbatten Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing over his ties to Epstein. King Charles had stripped his brother of his titles back in October and has since evicted him from Windsor. Let's get back down to CNN's Salma Abdulaziz, who joins us live in London. Salma, what's the latest that you're hearing?
I want to start by asking maybe questions of what we don't know and what we do know so far. So we do know that he's been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office, but there's a lot of details that are still missing here, of course, Rahel. We don't know the specifics of the allegations of this investigation by the police. We're talking about a period of time between 2001 to 2011 when he was representing the UK as a trade envoy. What are the specific allegations, the specific accusations of misconduct? We don't yet know that. What information actually prompted Thames Valley Police to make this arrest? That's the key question here, because we understand that they have been assessing this claim for some time now, I would say a period of days. That latest trove of emails where we see these allegations come to light has been out for a few weeks now. So what was the trigger? What was the switch? What was it that the police held on to that said, okay, now is the time when we need to take this very extraordinary action, of course, in this country? We also don't know where Andrew Mountbatten Windsor is currently being held. We don't know where he is being held. We simply know that he's been arrested, but we don't know any details beyond that or what the status of that is in terms of his arrest. And we still don't know if he's been interviewed under caution.
Hello, Lisa.
That in this country. So essentially, has he been asked questions? Has he sat down with a police officer and been asked questions as of yet? And where has he been asked these questions? What location has he been taken to? What do we actually know right now? Well, what we do know is Mr. Andrew Mountbatten, former Prince Andrew, who only earlier this month was forced out of the royal residence, pushed into his brother's residence, the Sandringham estate, which is currently being searched by police, has now faced a watershed moment, really, not just for himself, but for the royal family and really for this country at large, being arrested. Now, again, being arrested does not mean being...
Here's the thing. They're making an example out of him. They're making him the scapegoat. They're making him the guinea pig. I just think that if you're going to arrest one, arrest them all. You know, they're trying to say that he did some shady business deals, which he may have, but it's all tied into his walk and his relationship with the man on the island. Lisa says, is this the first and only person arrested? And it is because Epstein files? Exactly. He's the only one that's been arrested. What do you guys think about that? He's the only person that's being scrutinized in the media about his relationship with Epstein. And he had relationships with a whole bunch of people, especially over here in the United States. I feel like it's kind of unfair. Yep, Aaron. Call them all out. Donald Trump, too. It proves that his relationship with the island man went on longer than Andrew let on, Lady Letitia. That's right, Nick. And also, too, his notion of saying that he had nothing to do with it is a big hogwash piece of crap-a-doolittle. Too bad we can't play that over here. The BBC interview of Andrew. He tells off on himself in the interview. He is really guilty. Yeah, and Andrew Nick Mountain Goat, he tries to portray like he really didn't have this big relationship with Epstein, but you stayed at his house. You went to see him after he got out of jail. Your wife took her kids to see him after he was arrested. They need to question them all, Gretchen. Okay? I know that's right. Sacrificial. Yep. You are the guinea pig. But the UK is making a difference in what they are questioning him about the files and what took place and what went down. What about the other folks? Rockadoo. Hello, Cece. Yep, you can't hide forever, Donald Trump. This is the first time in history a royal has ever been arrested. That's right. It's history making. Wow, isn't it his birthday today? They arrested him on his birthday. How rude. I mean, I know I'm not trying to Yeah, I'm not trying to give him a pass and say it's not okay and say it's okay with what he did. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that just treat him any kind of way. It's his birthday. He's being outed and no one else is being outed. He's being outed on his birthday. Today is his birthday. And this is historical. Yes, this is some groundbreaking breaking news to do. CNN is reporting on it. Everybody's reporting on it. Meghan has been kicked to the curb. Playing it down. That's right.
Guilty. We do not know the specifics here of why the police have taken this extraordinary action of arrest. That is the detail we need. But you can imagine that the royal family is reeling. King Charles has been trying to get ahead of this time and time again. Last year, he stripped his brother of all his royal titles. I said he's pushed him out of the royal residence, even took this really extraordinary step of preempting the possibility of this happening right now by saying he was willing to support the police in any inquiry that they had. So there's going to be a sense in this country, first of all, that this has caught up with Prince Andrew. He has been long under question, long under suspicion for his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, a relationship that he appears to have.
He had a long-term, like Lisa said, he's had a relationship with this man, with Epstein, longer than he is portraying himself to be. The irony is that they got him on treason for sharing state secrets with Epstein, not the girls. That's right, Sky. UK should be proud today. Nobody should be above the law. They should be proud, Ellie. That because they have, they were like, oh, he's going to have to do something. Charles is going to have to do something. He's going to allow them to do what they need to do to arrest him. And that's what they've done.
Lied about in the past, saying he ended his relationship with Mr. Epstein once he was a convicted sex offender, so around 2008. Now, in these latest email troves, that does not appear to be the case, and it is now clear that he did continue that relationship after Epstein was convicted, and it is that information that led King Charles to strip him of his royal titles, to take these extraordinary steps to try to get ahead of what's happening here. But again, it has caught up with them. There is going to be also a bit of empathy, I imagine, in this country for his family, the York family as they are known here. He has 2 young daughters. They're in their 30s. They have their own families. Their faces have been splashed all over the media for the last few years.
Talk media is streaming live,
swirling around.
Keep that.
What is, first of all, a family that represents this country, the monarchy as an institution, and how Mr. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor represented it as a trade envoy. And I did write down some details of the emails that could be in question here. Around 2010, he appears to have forwarded government report visits, details of those visits in Vietnam, Singapore, China. There are emails that indicate that Mountbatten Windsor forwarded investment opportunities for gold and uranium in Afghanistan. He had a duty of confidentiality between 2001 and 2011 as trade envoy. Did he abuse the public office? Did he violate government information? Did he violate the pact for confidentiality? That is the question the police are asking right now. The details around that, we have yet to know.
So this is the kind of story where it generates a flurry of text links, people trying to put together what they know now. Can you remind us that
have feelings about this? I do not see that because one member of the royal family has been arrested, maybe, we don't know, maybe charged with a very serious offense, that brings the institution in disrespect. On the contrary, it demonstrates that the institution is functioning.
Except
say one thing. Just compare it with the United States, for instance, the DOJ.
Yeah.
Such a contrast where
he had a whole relationship with Epstein. a whole relationship. Let's pop over to this particular one. You too, Carlos. Carla, it's good to see you, beautiful. Yep, I'm with you, Lisa. They needed to get the ball rolling some kind of way, and they started with him. Wow, Ellie thinks that everybody needs to lose their titles in the royal, as far as Eugene and Beatrice. Interesting. King Charles was arrested, tried in 1649 during the English Civil War. Today, Andrew. Oh, King Charles I was arrested, so this isn't the first time. It's been a while. He does look like he always getting into trouble or doing something.
The DOJ can't operate effectively without the say-so of the whimsy of the head of state there.
Carla, come into the other live.
Still currently 8th in line.
Come into the other live instead of the one that you're in. Back out of that one and come into the virtual.
To the throne, isn't he?
That's true.
Can you separate them then?
Well, formally, he is that. In reality, and I think it's possible for him to be removed from that position. In fact, there's been talk about that happening and protests being put in place to bring that about.
He has a condition. He doesn't sweat.
But I think that's a sort of sidebar issue, frankly. It's sort of it's straining for a gnat to use that as an illustration that there is a significant damage done to the monarchy.
I mean, I make the point in introducing you. You are close to the king. You're also just a long-time watcher of affairs in this country. And the royal family have had many crises over the years. How does this compare?
I think it is a crisis. It has, I suppose, two elements. It's a personal crisis for the individuals involved. I mean, whatever the members of the royal family individually may feel about this and about their feelings for their brother, that's one thing. But it's grievous for them to have to endure the institution being put under such incredible scrutiny. At the same time, I think that that what will happen is that we will put this into, when we look at it more coolly and in perspective, we will see that the institution has emerged from this, not weaker, but arguably, seems perverse to say it, I grant you, arguably stronger.
Was that Andrew?
As we've been saying, permanently to his permanent home on the Sandringham estate. But this clearly would have come as a surprise to everyone, really, out following the arrest of a man in his 60s, we know as Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Is this an AI? Yeah, that's got to be AI.
At a Norfolk address and also at an address in Berkshire. And we now know that address in Berkshire is Royal Lodge. That is where we assumed it was taking place. And we know that is the case. There has been quite a lot of activity going on here. Let me just step out of the camera shot and we can try and zoom
into, when we look at it more coolly and in perspective, we will see that the institution has emerged from this, not weaker, but arguably, seems perverse to say it, I grant you, arguably stronger because it's working. It's worked. One can say,
what do you think is going to happen to the institution? Is everything is going to be okay there? You know what I'm saying? You know? What else is going on in the chat? Okay, let's go back.
Britain's former
Arrested.
we are continuing to follow the breaking news developments from this morning, and it is that UK police have arrested former Prince Andrew. The Associated Press is saying that the Thames Valley Police, which is an agency that covers areas west of London, including former Prince Andrew's former home, said that it was, quote, assessing reports that the former prince sent trade reports to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein back in 2010. The assessment followed the release of millions of pages of documents connected to a U.S. investigation of Epstein. Former Prince Andrew is featured a number of times in those documents. Joining us now just to break down everything we know on this.
I don't think he knew to the extent that everybody's trying to say that King Charles knew. I don't think he knew what Epstein was about and that he was doing this nefarious things. But I do know that when it first came out, that's when they found out that he was actually doing something that he shouldn't have been doing. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that King Charles did not know, and that he shouldn't abdicate, and that he should continue to be the king. He's cooperating with law enforcement. They picked him up as, hello, AT2. AT2's in the house. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to see you. I want to thank you for your discretion on your, I want to thank you, AT2, for your lives that you did on me about my court case. I really do appreciate it. Big fat kiss to you. So basically what's going on, AT2, is Andrew, King Charles's brother, has been arrested. Breaking freaking news. Because of the Epstein files. Well, maybe because of some emails that he shared with Epstein that he shouldn't have been sharing, some personal information. Yeah, that's what's going on over here. That's what's going on over here. Are you having your cards ready today, Letitia? Yes. We're going to do the card reading today at 1 o'clock with Annabelle. Yeah. AT2, what you were told about Snoopy isn't true from the bird's nest. I know, I like Snoopy. Snoopy is not what Maggot says her out to be. I agree with you, Nick Mountain Goat, on that one. Don't listen to her. She wants everybody to hate who she hates. If she doesn't like someone, then she tries to put that on you. Like, oh, I don't like that person. You shouldn't like that person either. And here, let me give you a reason why you shouldn't like that person. No, people shouldn't like you because you're sinister and evil. The evil Knievel girl. And a mean girl. And whatever Snoopy says about you is true.
Developing story is Josh Rom. He is a UK-based journalist. Josh, we've had you on before to talk about this specific topic, but this breaking news, I mean, it's really making so many headlines.
It really is. This is a shocking development in the Epstein saga, the tentacles of Jeffrey Epstein, this controversy, where it's going. But what we do know, we have a senior member of the royal family has been arrested. This is the first time that a senior member. This is some real serious stuff that's going on, guys. Can you believe it? The prince that used to be better known as Prince Andrew has been arrested. He is the first person to be arrested in these Epstein file situation. They're showing a correlation. They're showing how they used to have a relationship with each other. They used to get together with each other. His kids
knew him. They used to hang out at his house. Like, they were friends. Then when he got out of jail, Andrew went to go visit him. Weird to do. Maggot has venomous friendships behavior. She is incapable of having a decent friendship with anyone. It's not possible. She doesn't have it in her. She is a psychopath. So psychopath has no feelings about others. And I think as long as she stays behind that wall in Canada, she thinks that she's this big, mighty, tough girl. But come to find out, she's a flake-a-doo. What a fall from grace. Andrew had threesomes with Epstein. I heard that recently. We reported on that. He was too arrogant, thinking no one could touch him because of his royal titles. They didn't reach out and touched him. Oh, Ellie says Letitia Charles absolutely knew. He gave Andy the $12 million to pay Andy's victims the day before the trial to keep it quiet. Why do you think Charles did that? Protect the crown at all costs. So Charles is just finding out that that Andrew has done this. I cannot say that if I had a sister or a brother, which I do have a sister that needed money from me and I had it to give, that I wouldn't give it. I'm not saying that he did not ever find out what happened. Eventually, King Charles found out what happened to the situation. But even when he found out, what was he supposed to do? Turn his brother in? Isn't that what they're doing now? Yep. Well, they need to be called out and not just singling one person. It really looks weird.
Of the royal family has been arrested in modern times. So what do we actually know? So Thames Valley Police have released a statement saying that they arrested a man in his 60s from Norfolk. Now, in the statement, they did not name the prince explicitly, the former prince, I should say, explicitly. However, we could guess Norfolk, Sandringham, man in his 60s.
Exactly. What was
former
he,
Prince
what
Andrew
was he going to
is
do?
turning 66 today.
What was King Charles going to know? And he wasn't King Charles at the moment. He was his brother at the time. What was he supposed to do? I think for 100%, if you want to know my opinion as far as, do you think that King Charles is disgusted with his brother? Yes. Is he condoning his behavior? No. Is he getting reprimanded for what he's done? Yes. They stripped him of his titles. They stripped him of his duties. They stripped him of, they're doing what they can do to get him out of the limelight and up front and close with the people, because he has done something and did something that was just horrific. Horrific. What crimes? Like, if my sister comes to me and say, hey, I need some money, I've been hanging out with Epstein and they're accusing me of this, and this, then I'm gonna be like, girl, oh, shame on you, kind of a thing, da 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 da, but I'm still gonna give her the money. But I'm not going to be like, because I don't know. their words is he's saying no. My sister is saying no. Letitia, I didn't do what they're saying that I did, and I'm halfway believing her. I'm like, no, you're telling a story. I know you're lying about it. You knew what was going on, da 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 da. But at the time, what was he supposed to do? I don't think Charles is happy with his brother. I think he's got to be disgusted like everybody else. Meghan holds an incomplete deck of cards in her slimy and stinky garbage pail hands with a treacherous outcome when she finally tries to lay down her last card. Oh, girl, that's a joker you're holding. No, King Charles didn't give Andrew any money. That's what I heard, Demon Dictator. I heard that it was the Queen that gave Andrew a loan in which he was due to pay her back. And this was around, yes, that's what I heard too, Demon Dictator. Demon, that is not true. They already said the Queen gave $1,200 and Charles gave the rest because he wanted to protect the Jubilee. How was he going to be protecting the Jubilee? He gave him the money because he was going to be protecting the Jubilee. Didn't he just give him the money because it was his brother and he needed it? How did Charles know he was passing secrets as trade envoy? Exactly. Good question, Demon Dictator. Rockadoo little. This was in 2022. The Queen probably had no idea what was really happening. She was 96 years old. Exactly. Well, now he knows his brother is a pedo. I wouldn't say that he knew in the beginning. Unless they give me some reason to believe that King Charles knew beforehand, then I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he didn't know. I did too, Aaron. Letitia, no, because Charles needed the trial to not happen. It was hush money. Why did Charles need it to? His mother was the Queen.
So it's his birthday today, and he has apparently been arrested. So we know that 6 members of Thames Valley Police, at least,
happy birthday, Andrew,
attended Wood Farm. That is the former home of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh.
He does look like he got something going on up his sleeve, don't he? Like he's sneaky, like something's going down all the time with
the late husband of Her Late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. This is the arrest has been made relating to allegations made about misconduct in public office. So this is clearly a public figure. That's what we can get from the police statement. This is over allegations that Prince Andrew allegedly shared sensitive information with convicted paedophile Jeffrey Epstein whilst acting as UK trade envoy. This is related to confidential files and information related to his international visits to Asia, which he allegedly shared with Epstein and other business contacts. Police in their statement said that they are carrying out searches in Berkshire and Norfolk. Berkshire, for those in the US that might not know about that location, that is where the Windsor estate is. Windsor is in the county of Berkshire. Now, the police, as I said before, are not naming the man. They say according to national guidance, and they also sent out a special warning about reporting relating to contempt of court issues. They want this to be a thorough investigation. They're keen on this going through. what we have to say about Andrew's role as UK trade envoy. So between 2001 and 2011, when he was in this role, he was seen very much as a good choice. He had in business contacts around the world. The British royal family are seen as a force for good, to be this kind of soft power influence across the world to benefit the British state, UK PLC, so to speak. He was a war hero. He served in the Falklands War back in the 80s for this as well, during the era of Margaret Thatcher as Prime Minister. So former Prince Andrew was seen as very much a good influence, a good asset to the United Kingdom back in the day. But now his activities behind the scenes, especially his links when it comes to the disgraced convicted paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein, are being looked into in more detail, especially after the release of these millions of files, the millions of documents. Now, the former Prince Andrew, we have to say, strenuous.
So basically, ever since they released these latest files, and look at him hovering over this young lady, is creepy. And they got him. He's being questioned. I don't think this is the end for him. He may be. I think Andrew is in some serious trouble. Like, he could do jail time. He could actually do some jail time. Demon Dictator, could he do jail time? Is that something that Andrew could face? Obviously he's been arrested, so he's not above the law like some people I know. Our president, he's above the law. Yeah, it's just interesting that they picked him up, but they're not picking up everybody. But like Lisa said, this may be the first round. Yeah, what is he doing? He's leaning over. It's here. Let me make it bigger so you guys can see it. There he is. There's more. There's two more pictures just like that. I wonder, I bet you Meghan is pissed off because she's not in the news. And the criminal trial is going to be very humiliating for the family. Oh, yeah. This is already humiliating. I'm sure they are embarrassed by this and pissed off and disgusted with Andrew. I hope so, Fluffy. Wow, Andrew can go to jail. That girl doesn't even look conscious on the floor. Yep, she is. She looks young. Smash that like button, guys. Hit that like, hit the like, hit the like. Hit the like, hit the like, hit the like. Hit the like button. MM knew one of the victims on the yacht. She's not innocent in this either, says Ellie. Wow. Andrew has gone to jail.
And continues to deny any sort of criminal wrongdoing whatsoever.
Yeah, he's in denial about it. He said he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't know those girls. He had never met them before. He had never seen them women before. He is straight up denying everything in his BBC interview. that he didn't really have this big relationship with Epstein. But he needed to meet with him to tell him that the relationship was over. Because of how it may look. No, he looks so guilty. Andrew is so guilty. You did, Nick. Nick said she hit the like button before she came into the house. Nick said she hit the like button before she came in the door. Okay? Hit the like button, hit the like. Andrew has left the building. Andrew has left the building. He has left the building, okay? Where's Andrew? He has left the building. He has been arrested. And it is everywhere. It's everywhere. You can't turn around without Andrew's been arrested. Andrew's been arrested. Andrew's been arrested. This is big breaking news, guys. That the king's brother has been arrested, called into question. You can minimize it if you want to, but the mere fact that they called him in is enough to be like, ooh, we do. I bet he's sweating now. Says Demon Dictator. I bet Andrew's sweating now. Remember he said he couldn't sweat because he got a condition. He had a condition, so he didn't sweat. So he knew it couldn't have been him. Andy had to break up in person. Yep. I wonder if Andrew is going to do an Epstein in jail. I doubt it. He loved himself too much, Aaron. And I don't think he did. Epstein did it. I believe someone did that. Someone had him taken down. Everybody knows that. Yup. Happy birthday, Andy. Try on your new silver bracelets. Get cozy. Get comfortable in your little Matchbox new house. Woo! If this don't scare the hell out of him, I don't know what would. Like Demon Dictator said, he's sweating. Yeah, he's sweating. He's doing more than sweat. He's probably chipping away at his fingernails because he looked nervous in that interview that he did on the BBC. He was so nervous and so not connected with the audience at all. You could tell he was arrogant in every way. And not just arrogant, but just guilty with his questions, his answers. And why would he sit down and answer those questions like an idiot to make himself look bad? That's what he said. He said he needed to meet up with him to tell him that the relationship was over. Maybe Andrew had to meet up in person with Epstein to try to escort physical evidence. For example, photos from Epstein. Probably. Good question. Good question. I mean, good answer. Good observation there, Nick. I said he was under investigation. That's why the family couldn't say anything. They knew he was going down. I believe it. And King Charles said it. He said, I'm going to cooperate with whatever the law enforcement wants me to do. Besides, I want to hear his statement. He has a statement that he put out. Fur handcuffs. Not the fur ones. Hello, Mr. Dunham.
However, and of course, there's been plenty of talk when it comes to his alleged role in this sex trafficking scheme, specifically related to Virginia Giuffre, the woman who, of course, passed away, allegedly, reportedly committed suicide, and made a lot of allegations in her book, in her memoir, about the former prince. However, what he is being allegedly being investigated with by police is misconduct in public office related to allegedly, reportedly spilling or giving away confidential details related to his role as UK trade envoy. There's no links or allegations that this arrest has been necessarily related to any sort of role in the sex trafficking scheme. More misconduct when it relates to his role as UK trade envoy.
Josh, we're talking about this as something that is shocking, the arrest of former Prince Andrew, especially someone within his own rank. And now, of course, those titles stripped away, the royal family trying to distance themselves from him because of all of the fallout having to do with Jeffrey Epstein. It was just a couple of weeks ago, I think, that I had you on and we discussed a little bit about that latest batch of Epstein files that was released by the Department of Justice. Prince Andrew's name all over that. So he has been connected to this case for quite some time. How shocking really was it to see that this arrest actually went through? Was there no chatter possibly down there on the ground that something like this could be coming soon?
Well, yes, there was chatter, but I think it's still a shocking development. I would say it's shocking, but not surprising, because, of course, there's also been chatter about disgraced politician Peter Mendelsohn, disgraced Labour politician, also being arrested for similar sort of acts. These Epstein, and bearing in mind, Peter Mendelsohn is gay when it comes to his sexual orientation. So again, no alleged part in any sort of sex crimes, but people have been looking more at the activities of people behind the scenes very much more closely when it comes to the Epstein saga. Now, when it comes to Prince Andrew and the royal family, yes, have been wanting to distance themselves for a while. You know, we've had reports that Prince William, the future king, has been he asked, reports suggest that he actually asked Her Majesty the Queen when she was alive and his father, then Prince Charles, to do more to strip Andrew of titles, bring him out of the royal fold officially. At the time of the interview with BBC Newsnight, saying that he didn't want the rot to set in.
So when they did know, because William found out and everybody found out, William was trying to get them to do more to reprimand Andrew, to strip him of his title, strip him of his duties, ostracize him, put him somewhere where he's not in the land of luxury, you know, Frogmore Cottage, you know, appeasing him. And they wouldn't. The Queen just couldn't do it. That's her baby. That's her son. And King Charles, I don't know why he didn't at the time, but this, I guess, could be a very tricky situation for a family.
These concerns that Prince William has had for a while have seemingly now come to fruition. The King, with his earlier statement, said that, and wanted to emphasize, Buckingham Palace wanted to emphasize that the King took unprecedented action in stripping Andrew from the of his prince titles, his very birthright, not just the Duke of York title, but the actual style of prince, his very birthright, taking unprecedented actions. However, I think there's been this kind of...
They took Prince from him. Someone said that they didn't. That's his birthright. I think Sunflower said that. But no, they took it. They took it. Oh, he won't get, he doesn't go to the blue collar jail where, you still get like nice meals. You get to go play tennis if you want to. There's this recreational center and stuff. It's like not a bad jail, but like almost, for the blue collar people. Hello, highly sensitive. It is Andrew's birthday today, and it's good to see you, highly sensitive. Good morning, everyone. Hello, Michelle E. Hello to you too as well. Did you hear about Andrew being arrested? What the what? What the? They arrested him on his birthday. That is some crazy to do. People just don't care no more. They could have gave him one more day. He wasn't going nowhere. They knew exactly where he was going to be at. Oh, they arrested him on his birthday. Let's make an example out of him. When they got him in there, I bet they said, it's your birthday today. Or did they know when they arrested him? Wow. I'm not saying don't arrest him. I'm just saying, can you do it the day before or the day after, but the day of? Ew. He's 66. He looks older than 66. My God. He looks older than 66. I'm 53. Enjoy your present, Andrew.
Kind of news vacuum that has been created since these statements, where the public have been calling almost for more. They want to see proper accountability. They think that maybe, if not the king and Her late Majesty the Queen, what they knew, what they didn't know, because it's a high probability that the former prince did lie to them, but they want to know what the institution.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say, that he could have lied to them and said, this isn't true, what they're accusing me of. This isn't true, what they are accusing me of. And then, not that they believed him. Yeah, you're right about that, Ellie, but we're covering ours up. We're sweeping ours under the rug. No one's even being talked about over here. No one's even been, nothing is going on in the United States. But sweeping it up under the rug, doing a sweep. Am I 5'6"? What does that mean, highly sensitive? Oh my goodness, Andrew, you went to jail today. I would be freaking out if I was him. He needs to be truly concerned about his actions.
Knows, what Buckingham Palace knows, what if there was any sort of cover-up, because of course these latest files allege that there were women being smuggled into Buckingham Palace under a code name of police protection officers have been, or at least Buckingham Palace have been asked to let these women into the palace straight through.
These women have been to the palace. They've had tours of the palace and everything. I heard that Epstein sent one of the women to see Andrew. to visit him.
Through into the palace under the name of Ms. Windsor to see Prince Andrew
Miss
and maybe
Windsor.
even Jeffrey Epstein. So what there are serious questions now that if not the king needs to answer directly, at least the wider institution that Buckingham Palace themselves need to answer about what they know.
Almost they need to do an inside investigation. If that is the case, if people are coming in there announcing that they're Windsor and coming into the palace, what do they know about that? I get that. The U.S. new dance craze coming soon called Sweep It Under the Rug Dance. Sweep it under the rug dance. Sweep it under the rug. Get it under there, get it under there, get it under there. Sweep it, sweep it, sweep it, sweep it, sweep it, sweep it. That is what it is over here in the United States. Sweep everybody's BS under the rug. Let's pretend like nothing happened. And let's let Andrew take all the heat. He was the only one over there on the island. That's that BS. That's what they said. She received the royal treatment. She got a tour. She got a whole to do. Like she was the mistress.
And also the police protection officers.
No, let's don't call her that because these are young ladies. Like just oblivious. Oh, that's good, Michelle E. Interesting. Cece says Andrew is going to get pressured to tattletale and the others. Just wait. He should tell. I'll be in there spilling the beans right now. Why you didn't pick up so-and-so? He was there. So-and-so was there. Da-da-da was there. All them people were there. If I'm going down, we all going down. It was a group effort. Hopefully nothing happens to the son, King's son, brother, while he's in jail. Remember what happened to Epstein?
As well, because they would have been under watching Prince Andrew. They would have been watching him closely. They would have been going with him to all of these locations, to Epstein's Island, Little St. James, to New York. There might be questions over what they saw. Did they turn a blind eye to any sort of wrongdoing? What, if anything, they were letting through into Buckingham Palace and or other royal residences? So what this arrest has shown, bearing in mind that the Thames Valley Police haven't even explicitly named Prince Andrew, but from details what we're receiving from that they've made an arrest in Norfolk, that this person is in their 60s, is currently in police custody. We're guessing from the clues that it's probably Prince Andrew, but the former Prince Andrew, I should say, but he now definitely has questions to answer. He has to answer to the authorities. As Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer has stated, nobody is above the law, and that includes senior members of the royal family.
Obviously, a lot more details we are expecting to come out of this entire investigation throughout today, because this story just broke a couple of hours ago, I want to say, Josh. So, I mean, we are waiting for more of those details, specifically the fact that former Prince Andrew, as you have been mentioning, has not explicitly been named, but based off of the details of That's where we're putting two and two together, that he was the one that had been arrested. Josh, going forward, though, looking ahead, when we look at Buckingham Palace, when we see what former Prince Andrew is going to have to go through now, since this arrest has taken place, what are you watching closely? What can we expect also in terms of a statement from the palace at this time?
Well, I think the palace definitely needs to acknowledge this. I'm sure the palace are going to say that they will be cooperating fully in any sort of investigation. We know the King's spokesperson previously said that their Majesties would cooperate with any sort of investigation. So I think Buckingham Palace would probably need to acknowledge this in some way and some form, that they are cooperating in any sort of investigation. We do know that the police have said that they're carrying out searches they're carrying out property searches in Berkshire and in Norfolk. So that is Wood Farm, where the former Prince Philip's home is, and also most likely Royal Lodge in Windsor Park on the Windsor estate, the former Prince Andrew's former home. What I would say is this is going to be the most incredible distraction away from the royal family. Of course, Princess Anne was, or at least is still, I think is still in Italy for the Winter Olympics. We know that the Prince and Princess of Wales previously undertook a state visit to Saudi Arabia. This has been overshadowing all of it. We know the King has been heckled on walkabouts. We also know that the press have been asking questions on walkabouts on that state visit for the Prince and Princess of Wales as well. So we know that this story has been a huge distraction for the royal family, and unfortunately I think it's going to continue to do so. So we're going to be monitoring any sort of communication or statement from Buckingham Palace, from Kensington Palace, from the rest of the royal family. I would expect that they would say something along the lines of will be cooperating in any sort of investigation, and as well, because yes, this is related to misconduct in public office, but again, this is related to Jeffrey Epstein, they would once again reiterate their support and thoughts for any of the victims of that alleged sex trafficking ring as well.
Josh Rom, UK-based journalist, we always appreciate your time here at Live Now from Fox. Again, this is breaking news. It is a developing story. We're still waiting for some more of those details, but we're going to be in touch because this is a shocking news. It's making headlines all over the world. And like you said, more fallout here due to Jeffrey Epstein, this time with former Prince Andrew being arrested. Josh, good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, we do want to step away for a quick commercial break here at Live Now from
Some breaking news. In the last few minutes, we've had a statement from the King. I'm going to read it to you in full. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. And that statement has been signed off, Charles R. Well, let's cross live now and speak to our royal correspondent, Helena Wilkinson, who is at breaking news. In the last few minutes, we've had a statement from the King.
Let's hear the statement from the King again. Let's hear the statement from the King again, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, Ellie, to hear that. Very, very sorry to hear that about you. Yeah, it's so sad. So sorry. I know that's right. She was removed for nothing. Ellie, I was on the same boat with you. Oh, I'm so sorry, ladies, beautiful ladies. Very, very sorry. Yeah, taking advantage of you. It's crazy. Let's listen to see what the king has to say. See if his statement makes any sense.
I'm going to read it to you in full. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and
like he didn't know. It's almost like he didn't know. That's what he's trying to say. I learned what happened just like you guys did. Do you guys believe that much of it? Do you believe that he did not know his brother was going to be arrested? They did not give him a heads up that we're coming to get him? I find that very hard to believe, that he didn't know that. I have tried so hard. I don't know why I can't move past my 10-year-old self. I am broken. No, Ellie, talking about it and getting it out helps. I know it does. And it's traumatizing. That's something that happened to you. It's very traumatizing. You might not ever get over that. We're with you, girlfriend. We're with you, Ellie. Okay? Take as much time as you need. No, and I'm with you. I'm with you on that. They should not have any special treatments. That's why he's been arrested. That's why it's going down. That's why Andrew has been arrested. They are showing him as an example of what should be to come. Starting with the White House. Ooh. Quit sweeping it under the rug. Exactly, CC. Last year, I had therapy to go through my own essay as a child. It did help. Oh, good, Babette. I'm so sorry to hear about all you ladies that have gone through this. You can relate to these victims, these women. During the time I was growing up, I was always told it's my shame. Oh, wow. Then they're going to take that from you too. I can't get that out of my head from the church and my own mother. Yeah. You know, I found out, Ellie, that being taught something different can help be helpful. And I say that because I know you're having to recondition your mind to think something other than what you were thinking when you were younger. And it's so sad. And you knew it was wrong too, Ellie. I'm sorry. Wow, what a beautiful soul.
suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate authorities. In this, as I have said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. And that statement has been signed off.
Wow. He said, we're going to continue to support, do our duties, do what we have always done for our country. In the meantime, we're going to cooperate with the police officers in the investigation and whatever goes down. And if, not even if, I believe, he said he believed that pretty much, I want to say, what I'm trying to say is that they know, if he didn't know before, King Charles knows now that his brother has done something really, really bad. So, and he's acknowledging it. That's what I'm trying to say, is King Charles is acknowledging the fact that his brother has broken the law and that he must be punished. Oh, Andrew, oh, you in trouble. He's in trouble.
Charles R. Well, let's cross live now and speak to our royal correspondent, Helena Wilkinson, who is at Royal Lodge. And Helena, just talk me through, first of all, before we talk about what the King has said in terms of his statement, talk me through what's happening at Royal Lodge today.
Yes, well, the BBC understands that there are searches currently ongoing in Royal Lodge. Let me just step out from in front of the camera. I don't know if you can make out in the distance, basically the gate where we are. This is where we are allowed to broadcast from. But just beyond that, you enter into Windsor Great Park. You then get to another gate. I don't know if you can make out some sort of pink houses in the distance. Beyond that gate is Royal Lodge. That is where the former Prince Andrew lived until recently. He lived there for more than 20 years. He moved out of the property about a couple of weeks or so ago up to the Sandringham estate. He moved out under the cover of darkness, and we know that he still, or we understand he still has some belongings here, because he was going to come back after he moved out to come back and get some of them. But the BBC understands that the searches are currently ongoing at Royal Lodge.
They are in there searching. They got a search warrant. They're in there searching his belongings. It stops here. It stops here. It stops here, Cece. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now I need to pay Chat and Letitia for today's therapy session. No, Ellie, we love you. I'm so glad to see you. It's so good to see you. I know it's been a minute, but it's so good to see you. As always, Ellie. No, we help each other. That's what we do over here. We do. It stops here. Look, they're searching his stuff. They're in there going through his computer, his personal items. They're going through it. They're searching for something. They're looking for something, Andrew. Oh, Andrew's in trouble.
Huge property within Windsor Great Park, and just on the other side of the gates that lead to...
I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner. That was a lovely note, King Charles. Andy doesn't own anything. Everything he has was bought and paid for by the people. Take everything. Ellie said, take it all. Get a truck. Get a truck. Yeah, I missed my cup of coffee today. Honey, I missed my shot, my extra shot. We got our drinks mixed up. He got the one with the shot. So if I'm a little flat, hold on. Yeah, take it all. Go in there and take it. take it. He's just not moving out of the Royal Lodge. I thought he moved out months ago. See, that's that stupid stuff. Yeah, he was horseback riding like an idiot and waving, "Hey, everyone. What the hell is wrong with you? You're under investigation." Get off that horse, get yourself in that house and get somewhere and sit down. But no. Go get him, y'all. Go get Andrew. He is being arrested. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. I miss my bell. Ding, 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 ding. You know what? Auntie Nikki said, you go in here and you get sound effects. Arrested. He was arrested. He was arrested. Arrested. That would have scared the hell out of me. I would have been like, oh shit, they coming to get me. They're coming to get me. Oh, God. Andrew, they're coming to get you. They got you. You have been arrested. Do you understand the trouble that you have gotten yourself into? Thank you, Auntie Mickey, for the sound effects. Ellie says, question for my friends in the UK. I mean, no disrespect. Does the citizens across the pond support having royals? Just asking. I definitely support it. I love the royals. I love the whole concept of royalty. You know, Catherine and William being king and queen. Like, that's going to be awesome. Not that King Charles and Camilla aren't doing a great job. I really do believe that they're doing the best they can, and they're doing great. I think his mother would be proud. You see, they're dealing with this on a family level too. We got to think of it on a family level too. It's not just about the institution, the royal family. It's about a family being ripped apart by this one's actions. But I love the fact of royalty. Ellie, embrace that you are a survivor. Embrace that fact that regardless of the negative thoughts of others, that you are free and vindicated with truth. Oh, that was beautiful, Ziggy Lee. I love that. Oh, Babette says she is not a fan, but it is popular here, unfortunately. I'm fascinated by it. That's why I'm all up into the, Meghan and Harry saga do. Ellie, you're not broken. Nope, not at all. Time does heal like glue. that puts back pieces together to heal. Sorry if I'm not making any sense. No, you're making perfect sense, Kamari. Beautiful name. Bebet, thanks for your answer. I am just curious why people bow to another person. I think it's out of respect. If all people are created equal, why put anyone above yourself? Just curious because I don't understand it. I think it's a sign of respect. That's how I consider it. Not so much as they're above you. I don't get that when they're bowing to them. I get that it's just out of respect for the royals. Now Meghan bending down and giving her a curtsy do is it would look weird because she's no longer a royal. Me too, Kamari. I feel the same way you do. Hi, everyone. I've just got here. Hello, Maureen, and welcome. Is it true Andrew's been arrested? Yes, he's been arrested. Let me throw on the sirens one more time. They came and got him. They came and got Andrew. They picked him up, girlfriend, and put him in the paddy wagon and said, you're going to jail today. Oh, sorry, Ellie. Yeah. Because you trust your mom. You trusted her. Yeah, you trusted her. Which, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you've been taught. That's right, CC. Ellie is like our golden star. If I respect someone, I shake their hand. I don't bow to anyone. That's just me. Again, no disrespect, trying to understand another point of view. I am open-minded. That makes sense that you would shake their hands. Yep. That is an equal exchange. Yeah. That is. I can see that. I don't know. I do think of them as royalty. And with royalty, it comes a certain type of lifestyle. And that's part of the lifestyle. So I respect the lifestyle of it, if that makes sense.
The Royal Lodge, that property. We have also seen a number of uniformed police officers. We also understand that they are guarding the scene while those searches are being carried out in Royal Lodge. We also saw a police officer driving in a car through the gates as well. Those searches continuing, and as long as those police officers who we've seen who are guarding that gate, we understand those searches will continue until they have gone. Those searching the property will be looking for various things, of course, computer equipment, laptops, computers, perhaps hard copies as well, while those searches.
Wow, emails, all up in his business, all up in his drawer, all up in his home, How does that feel, Andrew? My mother's failed us tremendously, but at the end, watch, we're going to overcome this enemy that's holding us back, love. I love your spirit, Kamari. I love it. It doesn't define you. It's not who you are. You are so much more. You are so much more. Then what happened? Yeah, that's right. It does, Kamari. And whatever it takes, to make you feel yourself. Oh, Ellie's going to share a secret, okay? I tried to forgive her, but it's just not possible for me. I don't have it in me to forgive that violation. You know what? It may not be time. And forgiveness is not for her, it's for you. Yep. It's to make you not hate that person and despise that person and have that in you. That'll help you become free of what happened to you too, Ellie. Yeah, I can't even imagine what you went through, sweetheart. But we're here for you. And it may not be time for you to forgive her. It might not just be time. And when you get ready to, you'll know it. You'll know. Yep. He's been arrested. Oh, bless you, ladies. You never know who else you're touching by telling your stories. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. I was touched by both of you guys. All of you guys that have been through that. It takes bravery. And you guys are so brave. She even married that POS and still carries his last name to this very day. Yeah, see that right there would is hard to forgive. I understand. Yeah, totally get it now. Yeah, still there, you said? Yeah, there's something wrong. Hello, Hudson. Oh, I love seeing you, sweetheart. Everybody say hello to Hudson. You know, Andrew has been arrested. Yes. We're at his lodge right now, looking in, going through his belongings, seizing his computers, taking things out of his house, seizing things that we want to go through to find out if he has done some nefarious things. We're going to go digging. So they are digging through his livelihood. They're digging through his stuff, and he's at the station looking like, who did it and why? I bet he's scared out of he should be scared out of his toenails. That, can you imagine you going to jail as a used to be prince? Or are they going to put him in population with the rest of the prisoners? Yes, it is a beautiful day. Wow. Imagine Andrew going to jail, because that could happen. They could do a whole trial and everything, and that may damage the royal family. Things may come out that shouldn't come out. You never know.
Being carried out. We know that from that statement from Thames Valley Police earlier on today, which confirmed that a man in his 60s, who we know is the former Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, that he had been arrested. Thames Valley Police also confirmed in that statement that searches were being carried out at addresses in Norfolk and Berkshire. Well, the searches in Berkshire are here at the Royal Lodge within the grounds of Windsor Great Park, which is not too far away from Windsor Castle.
Helena, I'm going to now take us back to the statement from the King, because we've only just heard that in the last few minutes. It's on the screen for those who want to refresh their memories, but I will just read this part of it. Let me state clearly, the King has said, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. An extraordinary statement from the King, basically telling us that this is the law and the law must take its course.
I don't know, Lovely.
Well, exactly. And you'll cast your mind back not long ago.
As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. An extraordinary statement from the King, basically telling us that this is the law and the law must take its course.
Well, exactly. And you'll cast your mind back not long ago when the King put out a previous statement saying that they were, or Buckingham Palace rather, said that the palace was standing ready to support Thames Valley Police in any investigation that they needed to be carried out. But an extraordinary development again following the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor earlier today. That statement from the King, we weren't sure, of course, whether the King would say anything, given that this is now obviously...
And it's his birthday. Today is Andrew's birthday. Sometimes I think the word forgiveness is inappropriate for certain situations. Allowing so done to be angry and hurt is okay. It is, isn't it, demon dictator? And allowing a person to deal with it in their own way. I agree 100%. Especially if it's still going down. They just released a statement. Did you not hear it? We'll play it again. Yes, it's his birthday, Hudson. Alicia, I hope my sharing part of my story helps you to understand why in previous streams I disagree with you about always supporting family. Not saying Tom Sr. has done this, but I see what you're saying. Yes, I get it. Yeah, no, not all. You can't support all family. Not all families, sweetheart. No, that is not. You're absolutely correct, Ellie. You're 100% correct on that. Not all family. But like Meghan and Harry's family, they didn't do anything to her. That's why I don't believe MM must support her father. People don't know what happened behind closed doors. See, if something had happened to her, Ellie, Meghan would have said as much, because that's just who she is. She wants to be the victim, so she would definitely say that. But also too, Ellie, is that Meghan destroyed more than one family. She's not a good example. Just put it that way. She's not a good example. Hey there, Cece. He's being questioned about inside trading. It will be helpful to know along with when it started. That's right, Michelle E. I want to know too. Forgiveness is for you. It is. Let me tell you something, because I had to forgive Maggot. I really did, because I had anger. I was pissed, just angry. I was talking about her all the time. It was annoying. I started annoying myself. I felt like I was starting to become something like what she was. And so I had to, even to this day, just forgive her and move on. She's still sinister, evil, and all of that stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's for you. And that doesn't mean that you need to have a relationship with someone that has hurt you. No, that's not forgiveness. Forgiveness is doesn't mean you forget. Trust me. You do not forget. You remember every ounce of debauchery that person has done. Demon, I wish others agreed with you, but Sally, I just keep hearing forgiveness is for me and that will cure me. Well, I tried and I am just not that good of a person to forgive. I don't think so, Ellie. I just think that there's levels of forgiveness. There's levels of it. Okay? That doesn't mean that you are okay with that person, that person is a part of your life now and you want this relationship and shit. No, that's not what it means. You can still continue to be mad and pissed off and angry, because I feel like, and I'm not trying to compare my situation to yours, God knows. That would just be stupid. But just dealing with it. I'm sure he's getting like a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or something like that. MM will say it after his death. Exactly. She's going to say something nefarious about her father as to why they were not, she didn't connect with him. Forgiveness is for you, not them. It means no longer have the desire to burden yourself with the retaliation. Yeah, it's not that you forget, damn it. You'll never forget, and you'll never really get over the fact that that person allowed it. No, that's not what forgiveness is, because you can still have it. You can still feel that way. You can still be angry and pissed off and all of that. Oh, Ellie, you did nothing wrong. And see, that's right there makes me want to just cry right there, Ellie. No. Yeah, you got to start with you first. Forget everybody else. Forget everybody else. It's about you. Yeah, never. Yes. I will always question myself why I didn't say something immediately. You didn't know. You can't beat yourself up. Why did it take 2.5 years of an essay abuse before I spoke up? You were probably afraid. No. No, don't blame yourself. That you don't do. That we're not going to do. It's not our fault. Hell no. We didn't ask for that. No, Ellie. Throw that out the window. Boop, go out the door. Kick your butt out the door. No, we are not blaming ourselves. That's that BS. That's that stupid stuff. No. No, we are not going to blame ourselves for something that our mom and that person that did that to you should have known better. Oh, I think the healthiest level to forgiveness you can reach is feeling indifference about the person or situation. That way, the hurt and anger is not consuming you and making you sick physically. Yeah, but she's got to first forgive, not think if it was her fault. You can't blame that on yourself. You can't put that kind of burden and on yourself that you've done anything wrong, as if you asked for it. Hell to the no. No, no, no. Yes, you were the victim. You were the victim, sweetheart. We're here for you, Ellie. We are there. You know what? There is this phone number I can give you, but it's a hotline. It's supposed to be awesome. I think I got it from I know where I'm getting it from, Danny Robinson. She puts it out there for those that, just need someone to talk to. But because I don't want to sound like I'm a counselor, because I don't know. But I do know it's not your fault. And I hate that you feel that way. Yeah, be kind to yourself. So Andrew has gone off to the penitentiary. He is in the pen. Poor Andrew, he is 66 in the penitentiary. Shame on you, Andrew.
A police matter and the Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Maureen, the statement goes from King Charles. I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. What now follows is the full, fair, and proper process by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner. King Charles. You know what? I think those that here in America, yes, girl Hudson, I have. Yeah, we all think that, but we can't let that consume us. No, it's okay. It's okay, Ellie. We can talk about it. We're family. I don't know why this is all coming out today, because, Ellie, it might be something you might get out of it, whether it be from someone in the chat or just something that you come up with on your own. But for some reason, we're talking about it, and yeah, you just got to let it flow. You got to let the conversation flow. That's what I learned learning about my chat, about my channel. And we're here for you, Ellie. That's what we're trying to say. We're here for you. And you're not making this about you. Let's please get back to the POS, Andy, and those other PD in the files. Yes. So, yes, guys. He's in the penitentiary. Not really. I'm putting him in the penitentiary. He is in jail. I'm going to want to know. We're going to keep up with this story. This is
now under arrest.
The story is Andrew. Andrew is the story. If you're not talking about Andrew, what the hell are you talking about? Meghan? Because Meghan is not the subject. Exactly, Hudson. Doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. You're human. You have human, that's a human reaction. Yeah. Look at this. He's in jail.
And is in custody. But the king clearly felt like he had to put something out, that he had to make a statement about his younger brother. In that statement, let me just read you that top bit. The king says that I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. The king goes on to say, what now follows is the full, fair and proper process by which this issue, he goes on to say, by which this issue is investigated in the appropriate manner and by the appropriate.
He goes on to say, let me state clearly, the law must take its course as this process continues. It would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and serve to you all. That's what they do. They have a duty to serve the people. That comes first. That's what's coming. And he's like, look, take Andrew away. We're with you. Boom. Okay? That's settled. Not that they're not worried or concerned, but they know that this is the right thing to do. And why would they stand in the way anyway? And then over here, they're going to continue to do their duties. They're going to continue to be the royal family, try to be some type of help to
authorities. And he goes on to say, the king, that they are ready
to continue to do what they do for the people. You know what? Sue Smith has a really, really good platform because she talks about what the royals do. And it's not just about Meghan. It's also about the bigger picture. Hello, Dale. Yeah, it's never too late, Ellie. Andrew is the story of the moment. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Andrew's been arrested. It's on CNN, MSNBC, and TMZ, page 6. You turn around, Andrew's on the front page. This is breaking freaking news. I bet you my mom knows. I bet you my mom is like, Letitia, did they arrest Andrew? Uh-huh. They sure did. Picked him up in the paddy wagon. Charles, the law must take its course. How much slower can the law go to get justice? Epstein has been dead for years, convicted many years ago. None of this is new. Charles, the survivors need. He'll be released on bail, but the conditions of the bail will probably be that he cannot leave the country. Oh, wow. Because you know Congress wants to ask him a few questions. Can you imagine? Congress, first ask yourselves the question. Let's do a sweep in our own country of Epstein PDF files. and see how many more we can get to come to justice, because it's not just Andrew. It's not just Andrew. Andrew's not the only one that was over there doing what he was doing. He just got pictures and emails and all kinds of stuff. And so do they. Why isn't Congress doing more? What's that lady name? The general, what's her name? The attorney general. Yeah, this is why we need a meet and greet. We do. I want to do it in Dallas at the W. I mean, I could get it started. I just don't know how. I would probably need to get a website that everybody can sign up. And then depending on how many people go, depend on if I'll get a ballroom and collect money and do it that way. Because then it may be I have to charge for get the ballroom for that night. And then dinner. So we'll have to see. I could do it. I just need you guys to say if you want this or not. Andrew needs to talk and spill the beans. Come on, Andrew, get it all out. Attorney General Pam Bundy. Yeah, that's her. Thank you, Ellie. Yeah. Like, what are you guys going to do about the scum diddy do? The scum diddy do.
To stand by and wholehearted support and cooperation if that is needed. But clearly the king can only go so far now in terms of what he does say, and we've just seen that in the statement that we've had in the last 10 minutes, that there has to be this police investigation, and clearly they won't want to say anything further. Members of the royal family have been out and about on various engagements throughout the week, but you can imagine it will be a very tricky time for the royal family, given the arrest of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor.
Oh my goodness.
Stephen Colbert has a CBS letter. The king says, I have learned with the deepest concern the news about
Please use an accent, man.
I don't know if I have learned with a did I get there? I have learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office.
That was a switch.
What now follows is a full, fair, and proper process by which the issue is investigated in the appropriate manner by the appropriate authorities. I'm losing it.
Does anybody expect the Spanish Inquisition?
In this, as I've said before, they have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly the law must take its course. As this process continues, it might not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue our duty and service to you all. King Charles. King Charles. King Charles, everybody.
Not
there
bad.
he is. Yeah, he's jumping in.
Bad.
Can you imagine writing a letter with His Majesty the King on it and not feeling weird about that? Like, all right, well, this is what we do. This is totally normal for us. The police have arrested this guy, charged this guy with some crimes. It is kinda Epstein related, but the truth of the matter is that he's been arrested for basically emailing Epstein information he wasn't supposed to. And to give us some more details, I have a rundown. That's
everybody's talking about this. Everyone. I was thinking about maybe getting an app that we could use to sign up and then do like something in so people can save up their money and get there, maybe in September around my birthday. Let's do it like September 7th. Have a meet and greet at the W Hotel downtown Dallas. I'm all for it. I'm down. Let's be real. If Andy was a normal citizen, he would not be released on bail. He would be in jail. So treat him like any other pedo and let him rot in jail. I know that's right. I know that's right, Ellie. They didn't release him already. He'll have lawyered up with the best lawyers money can buy. Of course. They're already on the job. They're already trying to get him out. Right now.
That's right. I have a rundown. Prince Andrew
delightful.
arrested.
I love a rundown.
Let's see what we have here. That was definitely more British than me. On February 19th, 2026.
First Batman, now this.
Prince Andrew, formerly known as Prince Andrew, was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. This arrest is linked to allegations that during his tenure as the UK's special representative for international trade and investment, he shared confidential government documents with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. So it's about sending confidential government docs to Epstein. The arrest follows the release of extensive U.S. Department of Justice documents revealing these alleged exchanges. The development marks a significant and unprecedented event in modern British royal history. So the prince could go to prison, which is hilarious to me. I mean, hilarious. And one, don't get too excited because
that he could go to prison. They have picked him up, picked him up. Okay? This is not business as usual. This is not business as usual. Okay? The Prince of England, of York, Prince of York used to be, better known as before, has been Andrew, the has been picked up and arrested. Has been picked up and arrested. You guys here, I did not see this coming. Put a 1 in the chat if you really thought he was going to be arrested. Put a 2 in the chat if you knew he was not. I did not see him being arrested. Put a 2 in the chat if you didn't see it coming. Put a 1 in the chat if you saw it coming. Did I say that right? Yeah, I would have never, ever. At the W, no, they got room. Hudson, I could get something for September, I think. I could call down there and check, Hudson. Maybe I can call down there and check. W Hotel. He's covering it too. Everybody's covering it. People that don't even talk about Andrew is talking about Andrew.
British prison is not nearly as exciting as like a Salvadorian prison or even an American prison for that matter. It probably has better Wi-Fi than most of you do. So it's not going to be as brutal as one might think. It's more like, think Martha Stewart time behind bars is probably what the former Prince Andrew will be getting here.
She had it worse than Epstein had it behind bars.
Yeah, he didn't. I mean, how long was Epstein in there until, you know?
No, I'm talking about his first go around where they pretty much they gave him the keys. They let him leave for work during the day.
Look, we know it gets stuffy in here, Epstein, and we know what's going on here.
Let's get some fresh air, Jeff.
Let yourself out if you don't mind. Take some time, enjoy yourself. But when you hear all the headlines,
You
that's what it's
saw it
actually about. That's the
coming,
truth behind the headlines, that they're actually arresting this guy, the former Prince Andrew, for for sending confidential documents to Epstein. Not anything about underage girls or what happened on the island or what happened on the plane. Even though I saw some of the coverage, a couple clips, MS Now, that's going to get hard to get used to.
Hate it.
But that used to be MSNBC, MS Now. They were talking, they're like, look, there's no consequences here, but you get arrested over there.
And they're protecting Republicans. And
Here's
so,
MS Now.
Again, if you did something horrific, or if you were extraordinarily close to Jeffrey Epstein, if you got caught lying time and time again about your relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, if you're a Republican, this same party that talked about getting to the bottom of the Epstein files, which we've been talking about on this show since 2015.
He seems very concerned about the Republicans getting arrested. Hey, maybe I'm just a crazy person, but I'd like all the criminals to get arrested.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're Republicans or Democrats.
They're
if they're
ones
doing
that's
something with
holding up
kids and underage.
They're the ones that's sweeping it under the rug. So how are we supposed to get everyone if the Republicans are hiding the files, hiding Donald Trump, hiding what our hand, and not coming out? We're quick to expose Andrew, which I find very interesting, that we're trying to oust him out so quickly, but we're not doing anything about our skeletons. It's the skeletons. What happened to the files being released right after his term? We're in midterms coming up. Ooh, I voted. All of them. All of them. All of them need to release it. If anyone is holding on to these files, need they butt whooped. Leave the files alone. Remove yourself from the files. Okay? Lay it all out. Lay it all out. Quit throwing bits and pieces and bones about Andrew, trying to make him the scapegoat. Oh, they've arrested. Now this is big news because this is the first arrest in the Epstein saga is Prince Andrew. What? Excuse me? Andrew's the only person that's been arrested? Get out of here. Like someone said, we've had these files for years. Epstein's been gone for a while since they unalived him. Either he's going to or he already has. Good for him. Highly sensitive. Good for Mr. Clinton, if he's going to go talk to Congress about his relationship with Epstein. That's good. Everybody needs to have a conversation. That's right, Michelle E. He is trying to protect himself and his associates. No, you can't. Let it out the bag. Andrew is not the only one. He's just setting the example of what needs to happen to the rest of you guys.
Age girls and taking advantage of these financially destitute teens who are willing to give a rub and tug to an old billionaire for a couple $100 cash. I want all of the people.
That is not what happened. They were turned out. They were turned into these women. They were trafficked. Get the story right.
All of the peoples associated with that. But I guess that's not the message over there.
When very few other people, other than Julie Brown in Miami, were talking about it.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a Republican, you're off the hook. In fact, Comer and his hair doesn't even care about the man who started this hellscape.
So the idea is like, look, finally, over there in the UK, they do this stuff. We're morally bankrupt. There are no consequences here. Dude, he was arrested for sending official government documents to Epstein.
right.
It wasn't for any of the other stuff. So
Yeah, right. That's what they want you to believe. Then we get into court and we're talking about his sex life. Sure. Yeah, sure. Now it's defending Clinton because he doesn't want his secrets out. Clinton because he doesn't. No, everybody needs to be exposed. They do. But first we need to get the Republicans from hiding it and dishing out what they want us to see. Isn't it ironic that they keep showing pictures of Andrew and these women and no one else? Like there's no other pictures in the files other than Andrew? Is Andrew the only one in these files? I'm not trying to protect him. Let's get that straight. What I am trying to say is that there's more. There's more. And I don't care on either side. Bring it all out. I don't think it's the Democrats that's going to cover up the Epstein files. I just don't see that. Why would we want to cover it up? Yes, Ellie, we want transparency. We don't know who else is being investigated. We don't. No one's being investigated. Only Andrew, as party to insider trader info, is being gathered about his involvement along with others involved with this inside trading. Yeah, it's more than that. Andrew, just the tip, the iceberg. Yep. Hello, Cassandra. Good morning, Layla, Tisha, and chat. Good morning. I knew you would be on it. Judge Shady Court girlfriend, Andrew has been arrested. Yeah. Yes, girl. I couldn't get on here fast enough, Judge Shady Court, to talk about Mr. Andrew has been arrested, and they're trying to downplay it and say it's due to some trading with Epstein, but it's more has to do with what he was doing with those girls. Andrew needs to sing like a hummingbird. Tell the truth. Tell it all. Hudson says, I doubt it's only Andrew. I know. Divine. What's old news? Arrested on his birthday, Judge Shady Court. I keep forgetting that. Highly sensitive reminds me. Highly sensitive is a reminder that it is his birthday today. He turned 66. He is 66 years old as of today. And they arrested him on his birthday. Highly sensitive. Thank you for the reminder. I appreciate that. This is not old news. This is new news. This is breaking news. This news just happened today. How is it old? It hasn't even been 24 hours. Happy birthday, adieu, Andrew. I know, and my sound effects got it going on. Oh, they came and picked him up. and said, boom, shaka laka 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 laka. Boom. Came and picked him up and took away the key. He's in the penitentiary. Andrew is in the pen. Yeah, but you know, I'm gonna exaggerate it, Michelle. He's in the pen. He's been arrested. Period. They picked him up for questioning, meaning that they have arrested the Prince of York, used to be better known as just Andrew, has been arrested. Hours and hours ago. No, this is still breaking news, honey. It's still gonna be breaking news. This news is hot. Okay? This news is hot. I don't care if it was like 8 hours ago. It's still going down, Divine. It just happened. The real question is, will Andy see his 67th birthday, or will he be met the same fate as Epstein did? And you're right, Ellie, because he knows too much. Meghan was friends with Andy's daughters. She sure was. Beatrice and Eugenie. I wonder what they're thinking that their dad has been arrested. I just wonder.
So still roll it back to no one has been held accountable for any of this. Roll it back to square one, where you have a couple of people who are getting golden parachutes and retiring from their jobs, and nobody else is really arrested or even publicly shamed.
Comer.
Nobody else is
Comer. Comer.
I don't know who Comer is. I don't either. Comer, whoever he is.
Part of my Rolodex, though.
Comer. But even the people who are in back and forth are still kind of operating and making money. Michael Wolff, the journalist, still making money. Steve Bannon, still making money. Pen pal, basically, with Epstein. Telling Epstein how to do PR, was thinking about possibly doing an Epstein documentary, I hear, to show the other side of the Epstein story. Like,
the
that's
other
a
side.
good thing. Yeah. Like, have we ever thought about the billionaire who was just getting the rub and tugs here? Have we really thought about the true victim in all of this? Like, who does that play to? Who risks their entire career and reputation on emailing this loser? I'll tell you who. People who chase money and clout, like everybody else in Washington, D.C. They don't even care, man. There's other Epsteins out there right now, and they're still emailing them. Weinstein was known to be an absolute monster behind the scenes. And there were so many stories before he ended up getting busted about him being a creeper and
the writing being on the wall. Wasn't it Courtney Love who said in an interview, like, do you have any advice for this young actor? And he said, she said, don't go to a party at Weinstein's house.
Bingo, remember what happened when people spoke out, though? Blacklisted. Or worse. So
the most incredible thing was, you go through that guy's communication and it's the same thing. It's all these people are like, oh, I know they got you wrong. There's always somebody willing, if the person is rich and powerful, to go, I don't care. I want the clout. I want the attention. And they risk like zero social suicide from it.
Meanwhile,
only one alleged suicide coming out of that whole thing.
Meanwhile, the Casey Wasserman guy, they're trying to pull him out of the Olympics now for the 2028 Olympic Games in LA. Mm-hmm. And he had to sell like these disgraceful emails where we can't associate with this guy.
Yeah. I mean, this is just the truth. Like, a lot of these people exist that are creepy and that do this stuff and utilize their power to manipulate people, sometimes even like underage women, as was the case here. And then other people look past it because they're rich or powerful or can help their political careers or, whatever. That, like, there's just people willing to do that, to debase themselves in that way, in a way that I never would for any amount of money ever in the history of ever.
Right.
So there you go. All right. Well, we'll get to your emails. We got, we'll go to the Winter Olympics, where apparently there was somebody who was
Real Radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
I've never even seen cocaine. I don't even know what
the news junkie. This is just the start of it. The start of what? What did the bodyguards know? What bodyguards? Okay, let me take this off. Andrew ditch. Andrew arrested. Breaking shocking arrest of former Prince Andrew. Let's see what else we got. Police arrest Andrew. Arrested. Police pictured on estate. Sky World correspondent Andrew arrest. Our extraordinary moment.
As you said, there have been photographs appearing in other media outlets which appear to show plainclothes police officers, unmarked police cars arriving on the Sandringham estate, specifically around Wood Farm, which we know is now where Andrew Mountbatten Windsor lives. People have suggested around 8 officers in about 6 cars arriving early this morning on what is the former.
6 vehicles for one man. It's going to get much worse, says Dale. This story is not going anywhere no time soon. This is hot potato. I could talk about this all day, and it's like 2.5 hours. I have a live at, is it 1 o'clock today? Yeah, at 1 o'clock today. Listen, guys, you got to come back and get your reading from Annabelle at 1 o'clock p.m. today, okay? She's giving out readings. Yeah, short, quick readings. I know that's right too, Maureen. I want to know everything too. Look, they had 6 cars going to get him. 6. Why so many? Why so many cars to go get one person? What is that? Andrew had 2 bodyguards at Epstein's home for 4 days saying goodbye. Oh yeah, I remember. Andrew had 2 bodyguards at Epstein's home for 4 days saying goodbye. Is that when he went to go see Epstein to say goodbye? So the bodyguards were there. Is that what you're saying, Dale? Hello, Doodoo Bird. Good to see you. Did you hear about Andrew being arrested? Yes, yes. He's been arrested. And it's his birthday. Maybe a couple of hours ago. Not too long ago. How's your teeth? How's your mouth? Yeah, he's been arrested. They saying it's because of the emails and trading and stuff like that. But, you know, who really knows? Okay, I did see something about the bodyguards just now. We'll go to the bodyguards in just a sec. Let's see why is it taking 6 vehicles to go pick up one man?
The Duke's 66th birthday. We also now know that he is being interviewed under caution, this man in his 60s. But of course, Thames Valley Police, very cautious. They want to make sure that they have the best possible,
Andrew accused of misconduct in public office. Andrew accused of misconduct in public office. Oh, okay, Doodoo Bird. Yes, just get rid of it. He was arrested this morning. Doodoo Bird, Demon Dictator actually let me know. 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wow.
Case in terms of being able to proceed with their investigations. They don't want anything to compromise now what they're doing. So yeah, it's a very difficult time for the royal family, and the noise has been incessant in terms of people wanting to hear more from the king, from other members of the royal family, wanting to see them on camera, wanting them to address the seriousness of the allegations that have come out in the recent release of the Epstein files. And I think this puts them, of course, in an increasingly difficult position. I don't see any way now that they can say anything further. They are very conscious of being seen to potentially prejudice any form of investigation, influence any form of investigation. But we know that last week they did say in a statement that they would be happy to help in terms of if they were approached by any police forces who are investigating any allegations. But also, as I've said before, I think something has definitely shifted in the last week, and it has been because
she's on it.
These allegations now have moved past the salacious, the sexual allegations, which undoubtedly have been awful and incredibly serious and should never be taken lightly in terms of the impact on the victims. But in terms of there now being these allegations which directly relate to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's official work as a member of the royal family, I think that is particularly perilous for the royal family, for their reputation. And that is why last week we saw a statement from Buckingham Palace and also the Prince and Princess of Wales, basically underpinning that thought that they don't want it to seem that they are burying their heads in the sand and that they are ignoring what is going on and the seriousness of this scandal and the allegations that have kept on coming. But this is an institution who they are not reactive. They are not likely to jump at the clamour from newsrooms to jump and respond immediately, but they do know that they need to be responsive. And I think it's how this has been playing in the eyes of the public, which they clearly would have been so mindful of when it came to releasing statements and saying our thoughts are with Epstein's victims, and yes, if we need help with investigations, then we will. Also, of course, we do not know, and we are not party to all of the conversations that will have been going on behind the scenes. Yes, you will have had kind of the mechanisms of the institution trying to figure out, okay, how do we mitigate the potential reputational damage here? But this isn't just an institution. This is a family, and the emotional toll that it also would have taken within the family in terms of those very difficult conversations. I have no doubt that they have been suggesting to Andrew Mountbatten Windsor the best way forward may be for him to speak to authorities. But also don't forget that Newsnight interview that he gave in 2019 and the disaster that became. You wonder what legal experts also have been saying to him over the recent weeks. And it is also worth reiterating and stressing that we have not heard specifically from Andrew Mountbatten Windsor since the release of the latest Epstein files, but he has vehemently denied any wrongdoing whenever asked about any allegations relating to him and his links to Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, stay ahead of the pain, girlfriend. Stay ahead of that pain. Something about the bodyguards. Okay, hold on just a sec. Arrested. Global fallout from Epstein files grow. Former Prince Andrew arrested in the UK as global fallout from Epstein files grow. Democracy. Wow, let's see what this is.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Nermeen Sheikh.
We end today's show with breaking news. In the United Kingdom, police have arrested former Prince Andrew, the brother of King Charles, on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Authorities say they're investigating a complaint over allegations that the former prince had shared confidential material with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The former prince was the UK's trade envoy between 2001 and 2011.
Back in November, King Charles stripped his brother of his title as Prince and Duke of York and evicted him from his royal residence over his relationship with Epstein. We're joined now by Michael Walker, contributing editor at Novara Media, where he hosts the organization's flagship live news program, Novara Live. Today is, I was going to say Prince Andrew's, but it's Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, and he has been arrested on his 66th birthday. Talk about the significance of this.
Yeah, I have to say on our show, we're still calling him Prince Andrew because I don't think the royal family can get out of this so easily. Just saying we're taking the title off him. It's got nothing to do with us, girl. They obviously knew he had a relationship for a long time before they stripped his title of that.
Your booty's going down.
It's actually remarkably similar to the row. Well, it's more than a row, isn't it? The investigation into Peter Mandelson, which is that what these emails appear to have revealed is that when there were powerful men in positions of responsibility and influence, they used that influence, they used that access that they had to forward on confidential information that was that should have been kept secret to Jeffrey Epstein.
Well, hello. We're here. We're live. We're watching something that nobody thought it would happen. It is an incredible time indeed. I think the whole world is in shock. What is shocking to me is that it's taking this long, to tell you the truth. Anybody who didn't or who is upset about these news, because I know there's going to be some crazy people out there upset about Andrew being arrested. I know that people are going to backlash. There's going to be some sort of backlash towards King Charles. Just for you guys to understand, there is no way that the police came into the king's state without telling the king. They would have needed the king's permission. This is a fact. This is nothing that anybody can dispute. You can't just get a warrant and here, king, we're at your property. They would have needed to notify the king. So they know that this was coming for a while. They've been preparing for it. And it started with Andrew having his gun license removed. And that's about it. You know, they don't want him to kill himself because I don't think Andrew will make it to jail. I think that the elites will need.
No, Paula, Andrew is not going to be unaliving himself. Do you guys think that? They removed his gun as if he would do that to himself. He just doesn't look like the type. Yes, they would know a lot. You're absolutely right, Maureen. I didn't see anything just yet though, Dell. But like I said, I don't think that let's continue.
To ensure that he gets Epsteined, if you know what I mean. There is
a possibility that he could get Epsteined.
No way, because Andrew, because of his position, he was dealing with people at very, very high levels. What is interesting here is that, according to sources, Prince William was absolutely the driving force behind all of this. And it's not stopping at Andrew. This is why you don't see Fergie. Have you noticed how quiet Fergie is?
Yeah,
we don't hear about
quiet.
Fergie. Where is Fergie? We don't know where Fergie is, do we? And Princess Eugenie and Beatrice are conveniently in Saudi Arabia, I believe. There is no way. Please be advised that if the mainstream media is telling you that the king did not know, they are once again lying to you.
So she believes the king knew. I don't believe that he did. I beg to differ. Oh, he is? Emma, that's going to be good. If Andy is unalived, it was a hit on him, just like Epstein. Yeah, I believe that, Ellie. I do believe that. I don't believe that King Charles knew, Paula. No.
This, for some reason, King Charles doesn't want to admit that, yeah, we knew about it. We have to sacrifice somebody. And that somebody is going to be my brother, Andrew. That's all that comes to it.
And why would he think he needs to sacrifice his brother? No, his brother, did something wrong, he should be accountable for it, period, in the discussion. Not that he was saying that his brother needs to take the fall, but his brother did something wrong.
And what is sad about this is that he was not arrested because of trafficking. No. Who gets arrested for that at that level, guys? Come on. No. He was arrested for misconduct in public office. The irony of it all is that he officially did not have a public office. So it's gonna be very interesting to see how they make that charge stick. Because if he was not officially in a public office, how is he going to be officially charged for something that he was not supposed to be in there? Whichever way we look at it, this is justice for Virginia Robert. It is thanks to her
Virginia,
that we're seeing right now.
I don't have my glasses. Sorry.
It's okay, Pat. Well, hello, Pat. Thank you for joining, and please go subscribe to Patricia. And Patricia, I have to say your name always.
That's fine. Oh, I have to. I'm not even logged in, but yeah. What have you mentioned so far?
Well, I'm talking about there's no way that King Charles did not know, because it would have. The police cannot just pitch up to any of the monarch's residences. They can't. They have to negotiate. And they have to get his permission. So They cannot do this very last minute. And they have been preparing.
Okay, she's saying that he did not know, as far as that he was going to be picked up by the police. He did know, but in his statement, he almost insinuates that he did not know. But he did know. I'm sure he knew that they were coming to get his brother. I agree with her on that statement. I know that's right, Hudson. He's involved too, says Emma. Emma said that he's involved too. Oh, sorry you don't feel well, Emma. I bet his daughters are thinking, uh-oh, daddy's in jail. Daddy is in the jail cell. Where's daddy?
For this, because they started with removing him from the royal state, even though Patricia's going to log back on that. From the royal state, it's going to be, they needed to have they needed to have permission from the king, and they don't just get it like that. This was a negotiation. They removed his guns licenses, Pat, a while ago.
Yeah.
So they've been preparing for this. Maybe Andrew didn't see it coming, but Charles and William, I've been told by an incredibly reliable source that the person who really pushed for this was William. And William is also going after Fergie and Eugenie and Beatrice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is why they're not in the country.
Oh, do you think that it's William that's going after? You think it's William that is the heart of this? You think William is the one that turned Andrew in? Do you think, and what does she mean by they're going after Beatrice and Eugenie and Fergie? What the hell did they do? I know what Fergie did, but what the hell did the kids do? Is this going to be one of those things, the sins of our fathers is going to affect us? Now the girls have to deal with the fact that their father has been arrested, and not that it is what it is. It's something that they have to deal with because their father is a PDO, but it's got to be embarrassing to them. I'm sick of people saying they're not going to comment on what the crown and queen knew. That is the exact reason it went on for so long. The parasocial relationship is terrible. Oh, I'm sick of people saying they're not gonna comment on what the crown and the queen knew. That is the exact reason it went on for so long. Exactly. That is true, Hudson. That is true. Fergie will be hiding in a foreign country. This is the crown, not the legal local Elks Lodge. Of course, they all knew. Would you know if a PD was in your house? It's a matter of when they found out. When did they know? When did they find out about Andrew? It's not that they didn't think that they had that going on. I believe they knew to a certain extent. I believe they knew when he got arrested the first time. I believe they knew back then. But what do you do with someone in your household that is one of those people? I think I said this earlier. You know, what are you supposed to do? They stripped him, kick him out, ostracize him, and now they have gotten him arrested. He's arrested. So I guess we can say that it all came to fruition what has happened to him. And regardless if they knew or not, he's been brought to, how long did they know? That's important to me. When and how long? It's all a family affair. They are all in it together. Ooh. Does the UK have ankle monitors? I wonder. Drop the link when you can, please. Okay. Hudson's coming up. This is too cool. Yes, we have ankle monitors. Do you think he'll give him one? Do you think he'll get an ankle monitor? Wow. See, I don't know, Emma. I don't think they always knew. I don't think they were like, oh, that's Epstein. That's the one that's doing that. I think I would assume they found out when he went to jail and they implicated Andrew. I don't think Andrew was running around talking about his relationship with Epstein. I just don't see that. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. It's been 30 years. Wow. That's a lot. Oh, here, let me drop it again. I messed up. Sorry about that. Some kind of way, there's a smiley face that got in the middle of it. Has anybody asked Megan if she's okay?
Country.
Yeah, I think that it had to have been planned for a while because there has been a lot of uprising around people in general in Great Britain. It's been, people are.
Hi, Hudson. I think you're on mute, sweetheart. Oh, wait.
Hey.
Oh, there you go.
How's the sound? Because I'm on the headpiece. Should I take it off?
Oh, there you go. Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Very well. How y'all doing? Hello.
Good. It's so good to see you. Did you
I
want to
know.
What were you saying in the chat?
They most definitely knew. This is the crown of the UK. How many territories do they have around the world? I don't understand why people think they don't know. They've been knew that he was running around with little girls.
Oh,
absolutely. You know how many people complain to the UK about a king Epstein being on the floor in front of their house? Like, come on now. Of course they knew. Of course they knew. And he's been doing this for years.
That ain't good. That ain't good for the king. He might have to step down.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, he may have to step down.
He may have to. I'm sure he's been to some Epstein parties. I'm not saying that he's messing with little girls himself. But look at those texts he was sending to quote unquote Queen now. They knew. You think Queen Elizabeth?
You breaking up,
I love Queen
sweetie.
Elizabeth too. Okay, hold on. How's that? Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, that's much better.
Oh, I was saying this is the crown. Like, this is the crown of the UK with a bunch of territories all over the world. Of course they knew. Of course they knew. You think someone didn't complain? At one point, people's children were running away in the middle of the night from a weirdo like Epstein. You think no one called and said, hey, by the way, my daughter was raped? Oh, sorry, great. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Of course they did.
So you believe the Queen knew, King Charles knew, and when did they know? Did they know when
They've been new? They've been new. Before they knew where Andrew was going. They know everybody that's been in Buckingham Palace, and whoever visited, everyone has to be documented. I'm sure Epstein is on some of those documents. Of course they knew. And they know everything about Meghan too. They have spies and everything all over the place. Please. One of those girls was probably from the crown and they didn't know it.
Ooh. Interesting.
He was doing things that would put the whole monarchy in jeopardy. You don't think they sent some spies out to see what was going on?
Wow.
I love Queen Elizabeth too, but she had to know. She knew. You think she don't know what's going on with her own kids across the world?
I know, right? I know, right? Because I'm gonna know. I'm gonna know what the hell is going on.
This is ridiculous.
Wow.
And I'm listening to other, not you. You still up in the air, but I listen to other content creators say, "Oh, I'm not gonna comment because I love the Queen, and I'm a big fan." Like, these people have daughters, and they talk about they're not gonna comment because of their little parasocial relationship. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I know that's
I'm sorry
right.
for yelling, y'all. I'm so sorry, y'all.
No, it makes a lot of sense. Yes. No. I don't want to say anything bad about the Queen because she's the Queen. That's not a good reason.
No, that's the reason why it went on for so long. That's the reason why poor Virginia is over there and unalived herself. How many girls got to unalive themselves for someone to say, hey, yeah, maybe this did go down. And they didn't.
Yeah, I think to me it's when they knew, but I'm starting to feel like they knew too. Like you said, the Queen knew about her son. She knows what's going on. She's not oblivious to his extracurricular stuff that he does and who he's hanging around with.
Yeah, not only do they have spies and whoever else feeding them information, she had to be looking for information on her kids or grandkids, anybody that holds a title. And on top of that, these little blogs and tabloids and stuff like that, they always have spies and everything out and reporters out like that. They'll find out where you're coming out of in the middle of the night, and they'll take a bunch of pictures and put it in the morning rags. But no one knew what Andrew was doing, and it never got back to the ground. Come on now.
Wow.
And I'm sure she probably I hope she had to sit down with him trying to get him to stop, but she didn't turn him in, and she should have turned him in.
Yeah. If she knew, she should have turned him in. That's disgusting. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That makes sense.
Like, she don't got to make a big old spectacle about it, but there's stuff that the monarchy does all the time that people don't know about. And I'm not talking about the illegal things. I'm talking about putting out little fires all over the place. They put out fires without people knowing. They could have really put a stop to that. Epstein too. I want to see those logs. How many times has he visited, the grounds, Buckingham Palace?
That
the
is a
ground.
good question. That is a good question. It's almost like they need to do an inside investigation, an inquiry of what was going on, because they said that Epstein had sent a young lady over to Andrew to be with her at Buckingham at the location.
And they say that it wasn't only Andrew, that the girls were hanging out at Epstein's house and Fergie and stuff like that. I'm not saying that they did anything illegal, but if my daughter at this age or my granddaughter was going over to some weirdo's house or some person I don't know, I'm gonna tell those people, bring me everything on this fool.
Right, I know. Why would Fergie, like, she had to know?
And that's my own little 3-bedroom home. I'm not running any kingdoms over here. Everybody there. Why does Andrew always have my granddaughters over at this island? Let me see what's going on. Send me all the things on this man that owns that island. Of course.
Yeah.
You talking?
Exactly. Give me the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. Especially she knows her son is a weirdo. Like, we know which kids are a little off, or what our kids are into, or what needs a little bit more like belt to ass and all that stuff. We know this stuff. Like,
oh boy.
Yeah, they knew when they were giving. I don't think, and I think it's been a long time. I don't think it was just with Virginia, or it, like, oh wow, Andrew's over there touching little girls. No, they've been new. They've been new.
Ooh, Andrew, you in trouble.
And I would put money on him not being the only one, because, you know, especially men of regal status and stuff like that, they like to run in packs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you know what, honestly, Andrew is the guinea pig right now. He's an example. That's why American people are talking about it so much, because he's the first person that's gotten arrested for, you know, anything related to Epstein besides Maxwell.
And all those, like, just the list alone, and the list is much longer than what they showed us. That whole list, are you kidding me? They know what's going on.
They do.
Even with the other, you know how many clergymen were involved with that?
Wow.
And they go to church every single Sunday. I don't mean that. I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because I can't believe it. Like, it's unfathomable.
Right. It's shocking. It is extremely shockadoo, for sure.
They know about the drugs. They know about all that. They know what's going on with these kids running around, running amok across the world. They just keep it on the hush, and the stuff they don't approve of, they probably just have a meeting with them, talk to them, sit them down, like, don't do this. But you know how you tell a kid don't do something, and they still
want to do it. Yeah.
They know about everything that Harry was doing too before it got in the newspapers. You want to know why too? Because those papers usually call for a comment before they post anything.
Yeah, they do. They let you have your say.
And I believe she knows everything about Meghan too. Meghan thinks she's fooling somebody with her little background and you know, bopping around before Harry and oh, she's just a divorcee, half black divorcee who's married to Harry. No, they find these girls out. They probably know what toothpaste she brushed her teeth with in the morning. They know everything. I'm not putting that. You know why? Because they're not going to let themselves not find out everything.
That's true. Like, how do I not know what my son's affairs are? Because they're so close.
They have to be 10 steps ahead. They are representing a monarchy.
Wow. Shame on Andrew. Andrew, and this could be a reason why it could crumble. It is a good reason. Let's see what these ladies are saying.
Okay.
Have been seeing consequences to their actions or things that have been going on in connection with Epstein. So, you know, to plan something like this is a smart thing because it shows that there are consequences, that you're moving forward in the legal process to appear as if you're making Andrew accountable. And that's what they need to do to push back on in people having met some kind of consequence, right? So it had to have been planned. And I think this is a way for the king to get ahead of the story, doing what William wants, because had they not taken away his title, and then we saw these pictures that came out, that would have been not a good thing. So
Right.
they know more that is still to come. They know how bad it really truly is.
Yeah, it's bad.
And so working to have him arrested ahead of what is still to come is yet again another smart move. And I can see this being completely done by William, because that is what I think William sees this clearly. He's far away from the scandal to see what needs to be done. And I think this would have never been something that the king would have initiated on his own. I think he's too emotionally connected to his brother. He's too much, I think, also like his mother when it comes to Andrew and consequences. So, of course, this is something that William is spearheading, because this is not the end. This is just the beginning. And also, the people in Great Britain have, like I said, have been seeing a lot of consequences. No one here in the States has been accountable for anything in connection with Epstein.
Not a person. Not a person. And we're the ones releasing the files. Shouldn't we have more information than that? I think so.
Thing has happened to anybody here. So it makes sense.
Yeah, and the thing is that in Norway, they arrested a former prime minister. Yet in the United States, you don't hear anybody being arrested. The thing is, though, for people to understand, he was not arrested for trafficking. No. He gets arrested for that at that level. Pat.
It's not about the girls. It's not about
it's not about how
financial and about his trading of information.
It's all about money.
It's
all about money.
He's arrested for money, but not for misconduct around women, young girls. Like, that is never a reason to see consequences. It looks like it's all financial.
Now, I want people to understand that it is my very humble opinion that Andrew is being sacrificed in the sense that everybody knew what he was up to.
Yeah.
Everybody knew what he was up to. In a way, I just want to say something. A lady said that Andrew was not arrested because of Epstein. Actually, he was, because in the files it showed that he was allegedly selling secrets or giving trade secrets in his position as UK envoy, ambassador, whatever, trade ambassador.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting because the elites are not going to allow him to speak. This man, in my very humble opinion, is not going to make it alive, because Andrew, because of his position, he was actually dealing with the people. You know what I mean? Like the right people. So I don't think that we're looking at a dead man walking. And Eugenie and Beatrice conveniently in the Saudi Arabia, I believe that they are. Yeah. And Fergie, of course, Fergie is not coming back because she knows she's next. And I believe that Saudi Arabia doesn't have an extradition treaty. This is where King Juan Carlos went to stay. But it's
oh my God, Paula thinks that Fergie done left the country.
She probably did. She probably did. And let me just say as well, like she said, the elites, let me tell you, because I used to work in entertainment. They knew what Epstein was about, because the first thing they're going to say is, why is this weirdo hanging around? Who's this that's coming to all the parties or the events? Who's taking pictures and hobnobbing? What does he do?
Right.
They all knew.
Yeah.
From the beginning to the end, they all knew. And he wasn't the only one, because if anybody read Virginia's book, she said that she was approached by other, let's call them pimps. She would be at parties and approached by other quote unquote pimps. Like one that was older and working before Epstein, like one that was kind of phasing out when Epstein was coming in, especially. Yeah. Like that's in the book. These weirdos know what time it is. Look at what Diddy was going through. They know. They just don't say anything. First of all, it's going to put them in jeopardy and their career in jeopardy. They're going to be blacklisted very quickly. And second of all, they've probably been solicited.
Wow. That is interesting.
Look at Harvey Weinstein. They knew he was a weirdo.
Yeah, they did. They did for a long time.
Mm-hmm. And I still think, you know what, low key, a part of me thinks that's how Harry met Meghan.
Oh.
Because remember that little comment that came out that he was like, oh, she'll do whatever you want.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Like, read the book. What is the book? Oh, not his book, not her book. The other one. It starts with an R. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Is it? What's his name's book?
Revenge.
Okay. Oh,
Revenge. In
his.
Revenge, they said
Okay.
that Harry was telling his friends, his little friends, oh yeah, they were like, why you like her so much? And he was like, oh, she'll do whatever you want.
Oh wow.
Please, these people are disgusting. They're entitled. They feel like they're above the law.
Yes, they do. That's where it gets real disgusting. It's like you think you're above the law and you're entitled to do this, have this kind of behavior going on.
Because who's gonna stop them? And I'm sure Epstein, he has a bunch of evidence. You see, he was taking pictures of Andrew. And I'm sure he has something on everybody.
Exactly. There's more pictures in there. They're only releasing Andrew, which I find very weird. That where are the other pictures?
Well, they got to start somewhere too. Like, they can't just. They're probably still investigating, because you don't hear a lot of comments either. And usually, when they don't make a lot of comments, that means they're doing investigation. So let's just pray for that. But too little, too late. Look at how many of these girls are grown up and, like, oh my gosh. Oh, they're now it's 2026, and we're now bringing people to justice. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Nobody gets any pat. As far as I'm concerned, nobody gets a pat on the back.
Right, you're right. You're right, Hudson. Yeah,
I'm gonna go on mute. You can sit down.
That is so true. No one gets a pat on the back.
It's going to be very interesting what happens to Eugenie and Beatrice, because the mumblings are that William wants them gone. And it's unbelievable. I know people are saying that King Charles is cancer. Cancer has nothing to do with this. You know, it is sad they tried to silence Paul Page. Let's not forget that. I mean, this is the letter that Paul Page received. Paul Page was a former bodyguard. I interviewed him here. He's going to come on my channel, but he's right now keeping quiet because of the investigation, right? But this is the letter that he received just last year, December 2nd, 2025. Confidentiality and privacy obligations. Dear Mr. Page, I write as a reminder to you of your obligations in respect of the role in royalty protection that you carried out for the Metropolitan Police. As you know, royalty protection is a unique and privileged role for the police service in general, which requires a high degree of public service, integrity, confidentiality, and respect for the privacy of those who are protected. These obligations remain once an officer has left the police service. Breaching such obligations undermines officers who serve to protect members of the royal family and casts unnecessary doubt over their trustworthiness and integrity. These obligations do not extend to a matter of obvious public interest, where criminality or issues relating to national security are evident. In such cases, we urge for you to report directly to police in order that an investigation may take place. I ask that you take into consideration the above matters for any future disclosures that you may wish to take. And this is the Met Police trying to silence people like Paul Page. By the way, bodyguards, because I saw not long ago, there was an article, bodyguards turned a blind eye. Well, according to Paul Page, they reported him to their superiors, and the superiors did nothing. And if they spoke out, they would be relieved from the duties and sent to a really horrible position.
What do we think about the bodyguards? They knew. Like you said,
bodyguards and chauffeurs. Bodyguards and chauffeurs know everything, but they're at the bottom of the but they're also at the bottom of the totem pole. Like, they're literally feeding their families from their paychecks. I could see why they didn't say anything, but that doesn't excuse them either.
Okay.
And where do people think that these elite, I mean, the Prince of England, where do they think he was meeting all these little girls? There's always a go-between, and there's always people around with their eyes open or their ears open. Somebody went back, even if it was an anonymous call or letter. Somebody let Buckingham Palace know what's going on. These girls are being R-worded, trafficked coast to coast, little young girls being drunk out their mind. Like, come on now, slipped pills and all type of stuff. Somebody called and said, hey, you better go look and see what's going on. Because they don't want it to come out sooner.
Right.
I mean, especially back in the 90s and the 80s and stuff like that, they didn't have the means of really, covering themselves. People really used to get dragged down in the 90s. Think about they don't have the means to just find out something out of left field today, and then tomorrow it'll be a big old thing in the news and the rags and all that stuff. No, they've been new because, like I said, they have to be 10 steps ahead.
Yeah, they do.
50-year-old Rochelle O'Neill Tolson.
Oh.
People like Paul Page. By the way, bodyguards, because I saw not long ago there was an article. Bodyguards been saying since about 3 years ago that the government knew. Why? Because of security guards. They even stayed at Epstein's house for an entire week. The government must be notified wherever Andrew goes when he was a trade ambassador and he was working there because of security. So the security gets reported. They're going to be there. That's where they're going to be. This is just like Mette-Marit, the Princess of Norway. Everybody, the entire government knew where Mette-Marit was because they would take security staff with them. They need to. It's a must. So the government knew. And in fact, they condoned the fact that Andrew was staying with Epstein. The bodyguards stayed there. And on top of that, are you telling me that the government didn't find suspicious that Andrew sold the lease rights to Sunninghill, the mansion that the Queen gifted to them, to Fergie and Andrew? He sold it for over £4 million, the asking price, after he made one of them trips to the Middle East, and he came back, and it was the lease rights, not the property. The lease rights were because that's another thing. That's a Crown State property. That's a Crown State property, so that doesn't belong to the monarch. But the Queen sold the lease rights, and Andrew had the contract for many years for over £4 million, the asking price. And at the time, they were asking like £14 million, which was already way too much money given the condition of that mansion, which was completely dilapidated. They were valuing it at £6 or £7 million. So him asking £14 million was twice the asking price, and he sold it for £18 million. No questions asked.
That's crazy.
You're telling me the government didn't ask? Wait a minute. What? Of course they knew. They knew. And now it is my opinion that they're making Andrew the patsy, and he's not going to make it alive. He's not going to, don't worry, guys. He's not going to do any prison time. And this is his birthday today.
He will not go to prison. Absolutely not. And I find it very suspect that Virginia is no longer here with us, because I think that also, it helps Andrew, right? It helps that she's no longer around, and maybe he won't be either, because a lot of people around this have just been taking.
Have unalived themselves. Something has come to them. They had a heart attack. They hung themselves, and even though the autopsy report said strangulation,
yeah.
It is. I will be very.
Yes. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit, sweetheart. People need to hear Katie Johnson's story. Wow, here it is right here. Trump Epstein dark secrets out. Katie Johnson 2016 lawsuit goes. Epstein Trump victims Katie Johnson interview details. This was 7 months ago. She's got a whole testimony.
I came to this interview on my free will. No, there was 13. The first time that I met Donald Trump was at a party at Jeffrey Epstein's mansion. There was an orgy going on, and he was. Kind of watching off in the distance, and he basically asked if I could come over and give him a hand job. And at first, I wasn't very comfortable with it. This was like my first party, and I didn't,
Hey guys, have you seen this interview? Trigger warning. She filed a lawsuit before the 2016 election, but she received death threats to withdraw the lawsuit. Jesus. Guys, I say we watch it. There's so much going on. I know. What time is it? Let's watch a little bit of her interview.
I didn't think that that was my responsibility, but my recruiter told me that I needed to do it. So I agreed to. And then he, I began to, sorry, this is a little difficult, but before I gave him a hand job, he kind of slapped my hand away and said, you need to use a glove. And the recruiter ran over and handed me a glove and said, no one touches Mr. Trump's penis without a glove. So I needed to use a glove. I gave him a hand job. And then immediately after, he had an orgasm, he left and I didn't see him again at that party. Jeffrey Epstein is a billionaire friend of Donald Trump's that was responsible for throwing the sex parties. There was, I originally came to New York trying to be a model, and in my travels, I met a girl named Tiffany there who was very interested in me and said that, that's what she did, is that she helped girls, get what they wanted, and she could help me get into modeling. That she knew a lot of people that were higher ups, and that it would be no problem. And so that's why, but I would just basically have to come model at a couple of events and meet some people. There'd be no sweat. So of course I went. That sounded like no big deal. And she was recruiting the girls to come to these parties. And they all looked, most of them were, my age. There was, maybe a couple girls that were maybe 14 or 15, but it seemed to me like we were all very young. So Jeffrey Epstein knew that I was 13 years old. When he interviewed me, he asked me to get down to my bra, just my panties. And I thought that was weird, but modeling, maybe it was something about my figure. And he asked that I give him a massage. So and then he asked me my age. He asked me, and I told him, I told him that I was 13. I told him why I was there. And he basically said, well, you'll do, I'm sure that you'll fit pretty nicely here. And then he tried to basically slip himself inside of me. And I pushed him away, and I said, I'm because at that point in time, I still believed that there was models, and then there was the girls that did that. Like, I thought there was a separation. So, I told him that I wasn't interested in that, but he said that I would do. And as far as Donald Trump, he knew that I was 13, and I believe that Tiffany told him. He seemed to take a liking to me because I was I was so young, and I was also a virgin. So I don't know. It seemed like he wasn't really into having girls that.
Whoa! Trigger warning. Wow, Ellie, this is deep. This is a deep, deep story. Let's continue.
That were liked by the other guys. He kind of, the whole glove, he kind of liked things to be his first, if that, for lack of, a better term, but he was the one who wanted to get to a girl before everyone else.
Wow, this is our
Donald
president.
Trump knew that I was 13 because the first night that I was there, Tiffany actually suggested that, she had a whole bunch of different wigs, and I expressed interest in them. I always told her that I would love to walk around with blue hair, and so I tried some on, and there was a blonde wig that she said that looked great on me, so I wore that wig, and Donald Trump had specifically asked about me because I remind him of his daughter, and she said, well, she's 13 as well, so he knew the first time that he saw me. But he took a liking to me because
you remind me of your daughter.
And the reason I'm coming.
You remind me of my daughter. Is that what he said? Wow, this is so. Wow, this is crazy. This one's serious. It's serious.
out now is when it happened originally, I just wanted to forget about the whole incident. And when I saw that he was running for president, I felt that it was my responsibility to come out and tell our country what kind of man this person is. I don't think that he should even be the dog catcher, let alone running the greatest country in the world. After I met Tiffany at the bus station, she took me to, basically went to her house, her apartment, and got ready. I put on a blonde wig because it seemed fun to pretend to be so indifferent, but we went to the party that I was basically interviewing for, and Jeffrey Epstein was
Hold on, guys.
himself inside of me without getting the go-ahead or anything. And then he did try to force himself inside of me without getting the go-ahead. He had a private interview with me. The first time that I met Jeffrey Epstein, he did try to force himself inside of me without getting the go-ahead or anything. And then it was probably about the third or fourth party is when he basically forced, it was another massage, and it was basically like, it wasn't sex, but there was penetration, and I told him that I didn't want that, but he kind of got a little irritated. So I don't know, there was something about him that I guess I kind of held him, I held a lot of resentment towards him. By that time that happened, I kind of already started catching on that maybe I wasn't there for modeling, and maybe I was just getting used for things, and I felt that kind of held him responsible. I did receive money to go to these parties. After every party, I was paid by Mr. Epstein. There wasn't, out of all the girls that were there with me, most of them were 13, 14.
Okay, guys, we're going to continue this story tomorrow. I'm going to leave it up. I have a live in an hour with, we have another live in an hour with Annabelle, okay? I hope you guys come back and enjoy the reading that Annabelle is going to give us, and we'll go from there. We'll also do a checkup on Andrew to see if he's out of jail. All right, guys. See you soon. Mwah. Yeah, Diane, this is really a creepy story. It's really sad that she went through that with our president.